Hello and welcome to the United Stand. It's Monday Night Live. We will be taking your calls. But first of all, let's set the scene. Mourinho has infuriated, stunned Manchester United players with his public berating of Luke Shaw, according to many reports. And as I said on the lunchtime show, if you've not seen that, the 10 players Mourinho is potentially looking to get rid of, watch that afterwards. But Gary Neville did retweet the article in the Telegraph this morning saying Manchester United players are not happy with the way he's treated Luke Shaw. Does Neville know something from the dressing room? Who knows? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But just touching on that transfer thing, I must say, careful what you wish for. Careful what you wish for at Manchester United, because everyone's saying get rid of Shaw. Well, not everyone, but you know what I mean. Some people are saying get rid of Shaw, get rid of Martial, get rid of Pogba. But there's no guarantee that in a year's time, if we get rid of 5 or 6 players and bring 5 or 6 players in, we won't be in the same situation. Am I the only one who remembers that Alexis Sanchez, as good as a signing as he's been, he was only signed 6 weeks ago. He's already playing like Martial, Pogba, not playing to his potential. So, you know, we can say get Dybala, get Milinkovic-Savic, but what if they come and they don't play well? Because actually the problem is the style of play that we have at Manchester United right at this moment in time. So careful what you wish for. And also, as many will have, let me just say, I will be giving away this during the show. It's mentioned it at lunchtime. Manchester United retro tracksuit that one of you will win. Some of you may have seen the thumbnail to this video. Something a little bit different, people might think, but something done on purpose. Basically, all we're going to do is I want you to caption the thumbnail. We've seen some good ones, like when your mum tells you that your dad's Ian Rush, or when someone tells you that Fellaini. Basically, I'm like that. So in the live comments, get commenting with how you would caption that thumbnail, and then what we will do is we will pick the best one to win the shirt. But my caption is like that because the headline for the thumbnail was Mourinho losing players. So Mourinho's potentially losing the players if they're not happy with him about Luke Shaw. So obviously I'm going like that because I want Mourinho to stay. I'm a Mourinho inner. But I must just say this, whether you're in or out or you shake it all about, just remember this, because I know as a fan base we've got a great United Stand community, and we've got a great fan base at Manchester United, and I know that you aren't vicious people, you aren't closed-minded people, and just remember this, whatever your opinion about Jose Mourinho is, and I'm sure you've got one, don't let it get dictated to you by the press. Because when we were doing well at the start of this season, when we were doing well at the start when Mourinho came in, the press have always been against him. They've got the vast majority of the British press have got an agenda against Mourinho, and it isn't fair. No matter whether you're Mourinho in or Mourinho out or you're undecided, the press don't like Mourinho in the main, and they have forever been trying to turn the fans against him. This will be music to their ears at the moment that there are United fans who are unsure about him. So if you're making your mind up, do it in the United community, do it in your own mind. Don't be fed by the agenda press, who actually don't like United much either. But interestingly as well, I don't know what people are going to call in about today, and I'm going to take the first call in a minute. But interesting that a respected Manchester United fanzine from Old Trafford, 83% of the fans want him to stay. And that a lot of those will be match-going fans. So it's interesting, isn't it? That divide is starting to come. And a lovely quote I saw from Ryan Giggs today. For those people who think you shouldn't criticise players, Ryan Giggs said, if you're not playing well, you should get stick. Our most appearanced player we've ever had. So spot on with that. Also, just some things you might want to call in about. Mourinho to quit over De Gea deal. If De Gea goes, then Mourinho's going to quit. Don't think that's true, but there you go. And also, I just wanted to say as well, you might want to phone in about Luke Shaw and the whole agenda, the whole issue around that. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to pass over to you lot. But I'm stunned by what Jose Mourinho, as much as I like Jose, I'm stunned by what he did with Luke Shaw, because I think what he's done there, excuse me, what he's done there is he's basically, there's a source close to Luke Shaw that's come out saying that they're furious, it's disgraceful. He could basically do it under an employment tribunal because the way he's treated him. I don't know what source that is close to Luke Shaw. It could be his agent, it could be nonsense. But the reality is, there's a very good chance that Luke Shaw might feel now, I can't work under Mourinho anymore. Mourinho's pretty much made it obvious that he doesn't want Luke Shaw anymore. Luke Shaw's 22, English, and a left back. That makes him, no matter what, premium. If I was manager of Spurs or even Liverpool or Arsenal, I'd sign Luke Shaw because I'd think bloody hell, he probably in the current market is worth 40 to 50 million. I bet we can get him for 20 or 25 because he wants to leave. Mourinho's publicly said that he doesn't want him anymore. We've probably just halved his value at the weekend, which I don't think Manchester United Football Club are going to be very happy with, because whatever you think about Luke Shaw, 22, left back, English. They don't come easy. They don't come easy. He's got age on his side. He's got Englishness on his side in the Premier League. So I find it really, really strange how we've approached that. Samuel, can you hear me?
Hello, hi, yes, I can.
Good, good. What do you want to talk about, mates?
I just want to talk mainly about the speculation with our players, especially with Mark.
Yep, okay, go ahead.
I just want to go on about to agree with him on the point about Luke Shaw, the idea that he's actually a very good player that we're letting go. And I feel like it's just Mourinho doing what he's done in the past with Salah all over again and De Bruyne. So when I talk about how I don't think Pogba will leave now, but it's just it's the problem of if the dressing room loses Mourinho, then we're going to get this issue of, Pogba thinking, okay, am I actually going to work well in this team? Martial thinking, if no matter what I do, am I going to not get a chance to play? Like, do you see where I'm going with Martial and Pogba?
I think Pogba can't go. I think his contract sort of ties him to United, and who would pay the money to take Pogba out? And United won't want him to go. I think in relation to Martial, if I can remember rightly, his contract's up at the end of next season, but we've got the option of another year. But if he refuses to sign a contract because he doesn't want to play under Mourinho, then that represents a big problem for United. And as I was saying a minute ago, this whole Luke Shaw thing, I don't know what your feeling is about what's gone on with Mourinho and Luke Shaw, but the big thing for me is, taking away what I think about it, I'm very surprised, again, that Mourinho has been allowed to do that publicly. Maybe, well, I say allowed, he's done it, because I think he's probably halved Luke Shaw's value in the space of 2 days.
Yeah, that's for me the big concern. Is that we're gonna let him go for such a low price. Look, I love Luke Shaw, but if a player's not fitting in our club, as much as I think he actually does fit, if the manager doesn't want him, there's nothing we as fans can do. But at least sell this player for a price which, we value him at. And in this circumstance, he's gonna go for a small amount of money. Another club's going to get him. He's going to shine. Now, I want him to shine, but I also want us to get a good deal. That's my main issue.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, because I said it last week, didn't I? I said, look, I like Luke Shaw, but I even last week I was resigned to the fact he was going. I said, if he goes and we get Alexandro, I don't want him to go, but Alexandro's probably better than him. And that works. I think the thing for me is, it's not really that Luke Shaw might go now. It's just that we've probably just gone and lost 20 million on the deal by making it obvious that we don't want him and upsetting him. He'll force a move now, and the whole world knows it.
I honestly agree with a lot of the things you say, because people criticize you for these points, but they're true. My issue right now with our club is not that our season has gone, badly. Like, to us, it's gone badly because we expected so much. My problem is that players who were performing and who the fans believe can perform aren't getting that chance. Like, I love Sanchez. I really did, okay? And I still think he's going to do great things for our club. But Sanchez doesn't play well for the first few games. Jose doesn't criticize that. Jose keeps playing Sanchez. Luke Shaw comes on for one half. He comes on for a half and he gets attacked so much on that side, but he's dealing with it as best he can, as any left back will. Instead of you to go quietly and speak to Luke Shaw about Luke Shaw at half time, I want you to go up the pitch, you're not doing what I want. You come out in the media and do that. That's just unfair treatment. That's why I don't like Jose for. I'm honestly worried. Not that we won't be able to win stuff, but I feel like we won't be able to win stuff with the players that I want to keep at the club. I want us to succeed, but as a fan, I also want certain players to stay at the club.
Where do you sit then, Samuel? Are you, at the moment, are you undecided? Are you firmly Mourinho in? Have you sort of slipped to the dark side and gone Mourinho out? What's your opinion on him as things stand at the moment? Because that is obviously a relevant question. I wish I could ask every United fan that and know where they feel.
Before I say that, when I took your call initially, I was watching the show, so I thought I was speaking to a moderator before I spoke.
Oh,
so
yeah, no
I'm speaking in third person, so sorry about that. But where I stand on Mourinho is, I, just like a lot of people, knew that he wasn't going to play the most exciting football, and I was ready for that. However, um, I felt like he would only do that against big teams like Man City, where he would maybe play a bit more defensive. I understood that, but I was annoyed with it. But sometimes it worked. Against Arsenal, it worked against Liverpool, against Chelsea. My issue with Mourinho staying is, if he stays, is he going to treat every team we play like a big team? Are we going to park the bus against every team? Because his tactic is okay in some games, but there's some games where you just look at him and you think you need to adapt. Like against Sevilla, you just think, just attack them, you'll score. You see how he brought on Mata and Martial, and we scored within a few minutes, but it was too late. All you had to do was attack. And my other issue with Mourinho is simply this, and I feel like if Fellaini stays, I can't back Mourinho anymore. It's Fellaini for me. If Fellaini goes and Mourinho is still at our club, that is perfectly fine with me. But the problem is when Fellaini is fit, it clouds Mourinho's judgment, and every other possible tactic goes out of the window, and it suddenly becomes long ball FC. So with me, simply, I'm okay with Mourinho staying. But if Fellaini stays with Mourinho staying, I think I'm going to have to go on the other side for next year. I'm sorry about that.
No, hey Samuel, it's been a really good call. Thanks for calling in, and it's your opinion, mate. No one is in the live comments or me is gonna. You articulated it really well, so please do call in again.
That's fine. Thank you very much.
Cheers, pal. It's simple, and for Samuel, if Fellaini stays, then he's out, Mourinho. So if you're watching tonight, sell Fellaini. But on that, the one thing that stuck out for me, and I don't know what you lot think, is that, and I can see everyone doing the thumbnail comments. Don't worry, they won't not get read, because what I'm going to do is after the show tonight, I'm going to read the live comments as I watch the show back again, and I will pick the best one, and we will announce it on a fantastic. I've got a cracking show at 1 o'clock tomorrow lined up. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. It came into my head today, and I can't believe no one's ever done it. It's a brilliant idea, and I'm not mentioning it because I'm doing it at 1 o'clock tomorrow, and I don't want it to get out. Brilliant. So I'm announcing the winner on that show at 1 o'clock tomorrow as well, but it's a great idea. But what he was saying there about Luke Shaw in the 45 minutes and being pulled off, that is a great point, because we all saw, and Paul Scholes highlighted it, didn't it, at half-time against Sevilla, where basically Manchester United were hitting long balls up to Fellaini and waiting for and hoping for knockdowns in the last 16 of the Champions League. It didn't work. Fellaini was rubbish on Tuesday. Did he get subbed off at half-time? No, he didn't. And that's my whole point. I'm going to get Jared on. Jared, how you doing, pal?
What's up, Mark? How you doing?
Not too bad, thanks. What about you?
I'm good. It's Monday. Could be better, but whatever.
Hey, a lot of people are moaning about the international break. As I was saying on the live comments to the early squad before, the international break is actually not a bad thing on the United stand, because it allows us to do things like I'm doing tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and I've got loads of shows planned that we can't normally do when there's loads of games, and the summer's just full of transfer stuff. So we've got some great content up, and it'll fly by on the United stand. So it's going to be next Friday before you know it. But what do you want to talk about anyway?
What the last caller spoke about as well, which is the players going out and people's opinions on Jose. I mean, I do think Manchester United fans have a tendency to get over-attached to players, which I find has happened with Luke Shaw. I'm fine if we get rid of him, and I don't really care if we get the full value, and just get rid of him. At this point, certain players, I believe...
Why is that, Jared? Why doesn't it matter about value?
I mean, look, because there's a line between a player like Martial and Pogba, who are so talented they shouldn't be moved at all. You need to work with them to get them better or put them in the team. And then there's people like Luke Shaw, who, again, we could think he has all the potential in the world, but the statistics are there. He has not done anything. So I do not believe he has the mentality to play for Jose Mourinho. So I'd like to say he may be great under a coach like Klopp or Pochettino, who will cater to youth, but that's not the coach that we have, and I'm okay with that. But
just wait a minute there. So he could do well under Klopp or Pochettino, but why can't he do well under Mourinho then? Because
because I find Mourinho's skill set is not based on catering to youth who need to have an arm around them.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think that certain youth he sees different potential, like Rashford. I think as much as we would slate his ability to grow Rashford, I think in his way he's played him a lot. He sees potential in him. Rashford's not going anywhere. Let the press say what they want. he's not in the conversation of people who are leaving or anything. He's going to be here.
Yeah.
Martial's in the conversation for press. I don't believe he's actually leaving, but I do believe that
well, his agent came out today and said there's nothing in the Juventus rumors, say.
Right. But I will say his agent did come out and say, I can't guarantee he will be there next year. And I do think these are situations that Jose has to take seriously. Shaw, look, if it's going to come between Martial and Shaw, there isn't an answer, right? Like, we all would choose Martial. Shaw, there are replaceable and better players than him. And it's not like his injury record is good enough to argue that he should be giving another year with us not signing a left back. So the question is, would people or fans be comfortable if they got their wish and we didn't sign someone and Luke Shaw went down in the first 3 games? And then what happens? And it's like, I don't believe Jose trusts his fitness. I don't believe he trusts him. So this is a situation where I back Mourinho. I don't back Mourinho in the Fellaini or the Martial situations, but I do believe both of those I'm hoping will work out in the way that we want them. And this is just Jose having an ego. I think he's going to keep Martial. I think he's going to get rid of Fellaini. I think he knows the cancerous situation that would happen if he allows either of those people to stay or go, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to ask you as well. It's something that I'd wrote down on my notes. A dangerous situation for Mourinho at United. Chelsea fan actually replied to one of our tweets today and quoted something Mourinho said, I think in 2015, which I can't remember whether that fits in with when he was sacked. Was it 2015 he was sacked? It seems a little bit more recent than that. Yeah. Maybe it was just before Christmas 2015 actually. And it was basically along the lines of lack of desire, lack of class. That a quote from, now I don't know whether that quote is true, but it was from a Chelsea fan, and he said there are similarities in relation to the way Mourinho is dealing with his players, his fans, and the press as to the way he did with Chelsea. I think that's scaremongering. I don't think Mourinho's a stupid person, far from it, and I think he learnt a lot from Chelsea. His reputation was in tatters, and he lost the dressing room. He spoke, I know, on Saturday about, well, if I lose a dressing room, it's part of the risk process. But he wouldn't be that stupid to do it twice, surely.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's learned from it. But again, I think everyone has to... We've been saying for the entire season, there's deadwood in the team. That's obvious. There are people who do not deserve to be wearing the Manchester United shirt. So there's a large portion of those people who need to go. If there's certain people that Mourinho feels should go, I'm going to back it at this point. I don't back him sending Martial out. I think Martial's one of the most talented people in the Premier League. I just would like to say again that there's a very big difference between Martial and Shaw. Shaw has not proven anything, so he doesn't deserve to stay. I think Mourinho is taking a massive risk with the comments he's making, but he must have been told by the board, you have another season, because he wouldn't have said those things if he didn't. Yeah. He wouldn't have. He wouldn't have gone out and slated players if he didn't think he had 100% backing by the board. Or he's not trying to get fired. It seems that if he fails at this job, I don't know. It's not like there's going to be another Premier League club lining up for him. And does he really want to be going to France? He's made comments about this already, that I don't want to go to a league where I just have unlimited money and nothing else. No challenge. So, I don't know. I think he's going to be getting more and more criticism on a weekly basis the way he plays. But if he can get us through that City game, I think he will be reprieved for the season. I really do. I think that if they do not win the title against us...
Yeah, I forgot about that.
You know, those are big moments for him. I mean, you look at these situations throughout the year, he's definitely botched some things. I mean, the Sevilla game was a joke. And even the biggest Mourinho in supporters would say the same thing. Horrible, horrible game plan, horrible tactical plan. But if that's the game that showed him who should be here and who shouldn't be, okay.
Thanks for calling in, Jared. Great call as ever.
You stay well, Mark. Thank you.
You too, pal. I'll speak to you soon, mate.
See you.
Interesting. Keep the calls flying in. I'm just going to dip into the live comments whilst we do. Remember, it's Skype Goldbridge, all one word on Skype. And we will be moving away from Skype in the very near future. I've got something in place which will make it a hell of a lot easier. Mourinho has not given Shaw a chance, says BR Picks. Smalling in, Jones out, says Kevin O'Callaghan. I'm tired of Shaw as well, says Anthony. You know, not everyone's behind Shaw. Not everyone is behind Shaw. The Shawshank Redemption says positive energy. I like it. He needs unlimited money at United though, says Breach69. It's interesting, actually. A lot of people were talking about signing a lot of players today. One thing I think Mourinho is stubborn and true. And he did say that he's only signing 2 more players and none of them will be attackers. So I don't know whether that could change. That could change because of what's happened in the last 2 weeks. He might now say, I need something else. So we'll have to wait and see. I love it. Let me just get rid of Ethan Shackers forever and ever. Bye-bye, Ethan. No. Yes. Somebody else had done something ahead of him. I used to... Lucas... Andrew K, it's hard. You should see the amount of people are calling. Hence, we'll be looking for another solution very, very soon. But I'm going to click this one because he was trying to call in for a little bit. Steve, can you hear me?
Yeah, Mark, how are you?
I'm very good, thanks. What do you want to talk about, pal?
I wanted to talk mostly about Mourinho.
Okay.
First of all, Mark, I wanted to talk with you as well. First of all, about the process.
Okay, floor's yours.
I wanted to ask you about, because you're a supporter of Mourinho, if it's about the process, then why isn't Martial and Son playing? And if Valencia and Shaw were equally as bad in the game against Brighton, why didn't he show some advices and instructions in the halftime and see how it went from there?
You're right. I don't know. I don't know why he had to pull him off straight away at half-time. It's unusual for Mourinho to do that. He normally gives people a little bit of time. He did also say that Valencia wasn't doing it as well, but he didn't take him off. It's also interesting that today they've announced an extension of Ashley Young's contract, so we will probably have a 33-year-old left-back who's a right-footed winger next season as well. In answer to your process question, I suppose, well, our process is different to Mourinho's. I agree with you. I would like to have Martial and Shaw as part of the process, but Mourinho's process could be very, very, very different. I mean, are you a Mourinho in or outer? Do you think he's right for United at this moment in time?
When he first came, I used to think that he was the only solution for us. And to be honest, he was the only world-class coach available. When he joined for the first season, I thought he had many disadvantages in his roster, like many deadwood players. He brought in Zlatan, that was like the only world-class player that had actually won something in our squad. He had brought Pogba, and I thought, the process of Mourinho would be to bring in players like this and actually upgrade our team slowly. Then when I saw him not playing Martial, and I had problem with him not playing Rashford on the right wing, because last season Rashford wasn't as good as on the left wing as he is at this moment. And I was starting to doubt him, many of his decisions. Like, if you're going to cultivate Rashford into a player, and either you want Martial or you don't, if you think that you need another left winger, whether or not you keep Martial, why not cultivate Rashford into a right winger so you can get the left winger and have the team ready by then? Why not make Martial and Rashford compete for the same position and then get another left winger? This is something I don't get with Mourinho. It seems to me like all his decisions are erratic. They are based on short-term decisions he makes on the training or on the short-term performances of the players. I don't think he has the cool mind to actually see 1 or 2 seasons ahead of him. So because United is in a really bad position, because Van Gaal and Moyes left us in a really bad position, I think that if Mourinho decides to cultivate the young players, I would be Mourinho in. Because what I see from him is that he wants to get probably Perisic or Willian or someone like a Pedro or a workhorse to do his job on the field, to follow exactly what Mourinho instructs him to do, and I think he's going to go away from Martial. So, because if Mourinho is going to stay only for 2 or 3 more seasons, I'm Mourinho out. If Mourinho was saying that I want to stay for the next decade, I will trust him and say that he has a work in progress. If Mourinho doesn't, commit to the club, I don't see why he is going to let some players go. For example, if you're going to go to Paris Saint-Germain in 2 or 3 years, why let talented players go? Why not keep them on the team or loan them elsewhere so the next manager can work with them? He's trying to create his own legacy by doing short term. I don't agree with that.
It's a good point. We spoke about it a few weeks ago, the short-termism fear that some people have around Mourinho, because he's a lot of players around 29. He never stays anywhere longer than 3 years. I like you. If he's going to use some of these younger players and stay for a few years, great. But if he's not, he could leave us in a really bad situation around, if he goes, he sells some of our good young players, and we're just stuck with these 30-year-olds, and Mourinho goes. It's a big challenge for someone else to come into. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Greece.
Greece. Okay, well, thanks for calling in. Really good call, and please do call again.
Thank you, Mark. Nice
Okay,
call.
thank
I
you.
do enjoy you.
See, the international stand is what we should call it. Really good call. We'll take another one in a moment. David Tapgun says, very good call. And amen, a caller that makes sense. I believe if next season with new signings and still struggling, then he should go, says Oani. Well, if you missed the start, Oani, I did say that. People who are hanging out for new signings, I think I would really retract that thought if I was you, because we signed Alexis Sanchez 6 weeks ago, and he's already playing like Pogba and Martial, not in form, and everyone's going, why? Keep buying players. I don't think that's necessarily going to be our way forward. I just don't. I think I think he should be forced to work with some of the players that he's got, especially some of the younger ones who have it in their locker to improve as they do. I still think that Luke Shaw could improve. I think I've just clicked somebody there. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, let's try again. Got a bit of a cold tonight. Skype's playing up a bit, so I'm just going to go back to the live comments for a moment, because it does do that, and it might bring me the call back. It's the Mourinho effect, says Breach69. People need to understand this is the same Jose at Chelsea. Horrible style of play, says Giselle Cesar. Andrew K says, not sure not sure we're hanging on to. It's 2 centre backs and a left back. Trying to get another call. Trying to get another call. Hopefully we'll get one. I've tried. Here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hi Tyrone. It was you I was trying to get last time. How you doing, pal?
Not too bad. How are you?
Yeah. Not too bad. What do you want to talk about?
I wanted to talk about Jose Mourinho.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't say I'm completely Jose out at the moment, but some of the stuff he's been doing lately has really annoyed me.
Go on then. Give us some of the things that are annoying you and what's making you hang on in there.
I'm probably just hanging on there because there's probably not anybody who we could go for at the moment, but I don't like his treatment of Luke Shaw. I disagree with Jared. I think that Luke Shaw hasn't really been given a fair run in the side.
I don't think he will be given one now either.
It doesn't look like it. And his use of Fellaini in the last game against Sevilla, that just did not make any sense. I wouldn't say that he deliberately went out to lose the game, but it just made no sense. He left Martial on the bench, Mata on the bench, Pogba on the bench. He can't even get the best out of our £89 million signing, so alarm bells are starting to ring, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a good point, that. If you think about it, FA Cup against Brighton, Sevilla, 2 of our biggest games of the season, and Pogba played about half an hour, even though he was fit. The rest of the time was sat on the bench. And also, for me, there's all this talk of Luke Shaw, there's all this talk of Mourinho, but for me, and I don't know what you think and everybody at home, but the 2 players in the last 2 games who I thought were abysmal was Fellaini against Sevilla and Lingard against Brighton. I thought Lingard may as well have stayed at home dabbing, because I think he's gone totally under the radar simply because his performance went under the radar and he's just got away with it. I thought his performance was anonymous against Brighton, and I thought
he was just a passenger.
But it's all on Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw, he's been the scapegoat from day one. I just don't understand what Mourinho's got against him. It's like a personal vendetta, to be honest, because how can he be fit? How can Luke Shaw play to his best if he's not getting a run of games? It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, he got it in January, didn't he? And he was the best left back in the world, according to Mourinho, and then he never played him again.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand how Mourinho works, to be honest.
No, and as the last caller said there, it's like you never know what he's going to do. He seems to change his team every week based on what's going on in training and who the opposition is. And I think, even if it's most basic, I think even if he gets frustrated with the United fans and says, "Look, I'm second in the league. Why don't you love me?" I think it's just in a whole new world for United fans, isn't it? Because we were used to pretty much picking the same team. Not forget the style, but no one knows what the best 11 is either.
I mean, I look at him in some of his press conferences, and it's like he's just like a little kid sometimes. I can't believe what I'm watching. Like, it's just unbelievable what I'm having to see. And he's talking about like what he's done in the past when he's Man United out in the Champions League. We didn't want to hear that. We didn't want to hear that after we just got knocked out by Sevilla. It's just completely bang out of order, to be honest.
I watched it again last night actually, and I hadn't realised that when he was talking about the Sevilla players, he actually was very aggressive and angry. He was like, you're telling me Sevilla players wouldn't walk into my team? And I think the press probably were like crapping themselves, but actually I'd love to have been sat there and said, yeah, I am. What Sevilla player gets into the United team? There might be a better team than us, but what individual Sevilla player walks into our 11? Our team, they're not performing obviously, but as individual world footballers, our team's very, very good. I don't think a Sevilla player should get anywhere near our bench, to be honest.
Nah, I mean, we should never have lost to Sevilla. I think if Mourinho had gone with the right approach, if he'd approached the game like it was Liverpool with the same team, we would have won. We would have done them, but he decided to bring Fellaini back. And only he knows why, but it just doesn't make any sense. If Fellaini signs a new deal, I just want Mourinho out, to be honest.
Do you think he will?
If he signs a new deal, I think he's going to sign a new deal.
I do.
I don't want to sound negative, but I think he's going to sign a new deal, and if that's the case, he can just walk.
I genuinely think he is, and I think actually one of the big reasons he played. I mean, remember that was our biggest game of the season, and Fellaini had only been fit for 3 days, and he starts him. I mean, why? If that's a player you're going to let go, who is effectively, technically, he's a contract rebel, and he's playing in a game like that over Pogba. I personally think he played him because he was hoping he was going to score or have a good performance, and I reckon the very next day they would have announced it. I think they're just waiting for some positivity around Fellaini to announce the contract.
I just don't understand what this guy Fellaini's got over Mourinho, to be honest. He's just not a great player at all, and he's just always getting in. I just don't get it, man. I really don't.
I think Mourinho should be given. I mean, here's a question for you, Tyrone. I was thinking about this today. I actually think that obviously I am still Mourinho in, and I'm very honest about that. But I actually do think as well he should be given the 3 years. I know it could end up in tears, but I do think he should be given the 3 years, because then there's no excuses, isn't it? Van Gaal, we all knew that he was a mess, but he still says I wasn't given the time. I don't want another manager going I wasn't given the time. I think he should be given the 3 years, and let's see what he can do.
I think he should be, but at the end of the day, if it means Martial leaving, if it means Luke Shaw leaving, I'm not sure if I'm going to be up for that, to be honest. But
no.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling in, Tyrone. Good points as ever.
No
nice
worries.
to hear from you.
Thank you. Take care.
You too, pal.
Bye.
Good calls again tonight. Remember, drop a like on the video. Really important on the Monday night show, because it is your fellow United Standers show. So really do drop a like on there, and appreciate that. I can still see everyone tagging their thumbnails. I'm going to have a long night tonight reading these comments, picking a winner out. Remember, you can win one of these. Well, there is only one. Manchester United. I can't forget the year. I don't want to say, but it's retro Manchester United tracksuit top. I like my tracksuit tops. I'm wearing one right now. So I was thinking about signing it, but that would just ruin it for somebody, wouldn't it? But all you got to do, look at the thumbnail if you've not seen it for this video, and then caption it in the live comments. I'll only be taking the captions from the live comments, not from afterwards. So you should have got your notifications on, because that's how we do prizes on here now. Make sure you've got your notifications on United Stand. The bell underneath, click it, all notifications for this channel, because we are a live content channel. Martial and Rashford and Shaw have potential to be the future of United, says Silent Fusion. I think it's cowardly to let Luke Shaw go. He's 22. He's 22. A player of that age can still be turned around 100%. And I do think we should give him a chance, but there we go. I've clicked someone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on, Mark?
Hi, is that Zach?
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. You?
Good, man.
Good. What do you want to talk about, Zach?
Well, I mean, just like a lot of the other callers, I wanted to talk about Luke Shaw, but I kind of had a different opinion on it, I think, than a lot of people. Luke Shaw's been a player that's gotten criticism from almost every coach he's had for not being fit and like not being able to cut it in training, and everybody's pissed at Jose about it. I haven't been impressed with Luke Shaw since the form that he was in before he got injured at PSV. Essentially, since then, he's just never really impressed me. And I think, he's whether or not he's better than Ashley Young is kind of a different story, because I don't think Ashley Young's the solution at left back either. But I just don't understand why everyone is so mad at Jose over it when this is a player that's literally gotten criticism from all of his coaches. I think he's a player that just doesn't really get it. He is still young. He may end up like understanding how important training is and understanding that he needs to get himself in shape to be able to play in a left back position, which is one of the most high energy, high like movement required positions on the field. I mean, he's going to have to run up and down the field, particularly to play for Jose, when some games it seems like he wants him attacking, and some games it seems like he wants our fullbacks to play more offensive. So I just don't get the criticism. Now, the criticism of Martial, I don't get at all, because I think Martial is one of the players on our team that's as close to world class, and I think has shown it on the field. I'm sure a lot of people would say that Pog was world class, or Sanchez could be world class, but they haven't really shown it here in quite some time. I mean, Sanchez hasn't shown it at all. But I just don't understand the criticism that he's getting over the Shaw thing. I don't know if it's because Shaw's English, so he gets a lot of benefit of the doubt because he's a young English player, but I don't think he's earned it. And hopefully we're looking for a different solution in the summer at left back, because I don't think it's Young and I don't think it's Shaw either.
I think in relation to Luke Shaw, there's a lot of people who would move him on, and I've heard the weight issue mentioned a lot, and I've seen pictures of what he looked like 3 years ago and now, and there looks like there's a visible difference around the waistline. But I remember Kenny Sampson many years ago. He was fat and he was a left back, and different bodies carry weight differently. It doesn't seem to be slowing him down or anything like that. But I think the issue is, and obviously the title of this video is Mourinho stuns Manchester United players with latest outburst. It's not necessarily about the player and whether he should be at United or not. I think a lot of people is I was going to ask you about that, about the players. Do you think there is a danger of Mourinho losing the players? Because I think the frustration is that he has done this publicly against Luke Shaw a number of times, and there are other players who, as I said, Fellaini on Tuesday was shocking. I've never heard anything even average word against Fellaini by Mourinho. And I just think there's that belief that he went too far on Luke Shaw. The lack of desire, hiding, wanting to be subbed off, lack of class. It's too far. And I think even though some people might think, well, yeah, Luke Shaw maybe should be sold. I mean, I said it last week. If he's got not a future here, then we should sell him. Let's get Alexandro in, whoever Mourinho wants. There's no point in prolonging something if Mourinho doesn't want him. But I think I would agree that the comments were too far. He didn't need to go that far. You don't need to question someone's desire, call them a coward on the pitch. I mean, they may well be that, but there's millions and millions of fans out there who are going to have a perception of a player now who obviously can't come and have his side of the story.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, and certainly since Shaw's young, comments are not acceptable. But I just think that I don't have an issue with some of his opinions on Shaw. Maybe putting them in the public forum the way he has is certainly not acceptable. But Mourinho's world is distorted when it comes to certain players. I just don't think that Luke Shaw is one of those. Obviously, Fellaini is in the side starting over Paul Pogba is a joke. But like I said, I just wanted to get out my thoughts on Shaw, because it doesn't seem like I'm in the majority on that. And I haven't been impressed with the player. I mean, really, he was in great form under Van Gaal leading up to that PSV game. I mean, if If people remember, like at the beginning of that year, he looked like the best player in our whole side playing left back. But after he got injured, it's just not been the same.
Mate, look, I wouldn't listen to the live comments if they don't agree with you. I mean, I listen to the live comments. Obviously, I have to. It's our community together. But what I mean by that is, look, there will be people who agree with you. There will be. I've read it. I've read it on Twitter today. I've read it on the videos I've been replying to today. There are people who call Luke Shaw horrible things, and you're being very pragmatic about it. So don't worry about that. It's your opinion, and I respect it, even if I don't agree with it. So thanks for calling in, and please do call in again, Zach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers, pal.
Yep.
No, there are people who think Luke Shaw should be moved on, and I think he will be moved on now. I think it is cowardly to move him on because I think he's still young enough and the talent is still there. Even if you think he's crap now, which I don't, even if you do, why can't we make him good? He's 22, he's English, and he's a left back. There's not loads of them, and I think the work should be put in. I really do. And I hope he goes off somewhere and proves Mourinho wrong. I really do, if we sell him. Because obviously I am Mourinho in, and I think Mourinho will still make us successful. But in the case of someone like Luke Shaw and Anthony Martial, if we are foolish enough to sell them and not put the work in, I hope they do go off and do really well. Because I actually believe in those players. And I would like my judgment to be proved right. Because, we've all got our own opinions. And I think he is good enough. But I do think he'll be gone, and if you are in that camp, then I think you will be proven right. So you will. Let's take another call. There's loads and loads of them, so I'm just gonna crack open one and see who we get. Hello, can you hear me? Don't know why I'm speaking Australian. Hello.
Hello, you alright?
Who's that?
It's Jamie.
Hi, pal. How you doing? What do you want to talk about?
I just want to talk about transfers, really. I think a few years ago I can't remember what show it was, but you said if you had £200 million, what players would you want to sign?
Yeah.
And you said, I think it was Alexandro, Milinkovic-Savic and Fabinho. I'd agree on that. I think, obviously, Matic is a fantastic player, and I'd really like him at the club. But I can't see Mourinho benching Matic ahead of him. And of course, Fabinho can play right back, but I can't see him benching Valencia because he's captain. So I think also on the Luke Shaw situation, I think there's a lot more problems in our team at the minute. What Mourinho said was wrong, about his desire and things. But I think there's a lot more Deadwood players in the team that we need to concentrate more on. Like Luke Shaw, yeah, like you say, he's 22. He can be a fantastic player. But I think, other players that don't even get a minute under the team, I think they need to be the main issue here. We need to be ruthless and get rid of the Deadwood players because, we look to move Martial and Luke Shaw on, but I still think, they've got a future under Manchester United. But I hope that, we've got a good summer and we just put this one behind us, really.
Kieran Burns says Matic player of the year for me. I'm going to be a bit controversial here and say that I still would, if somebody took me back to last summer and said, would you still have Fabinho over Matic, which I was very passionate about, yes, I would. Despite the fact that Matic has been good this season, I still would. Because Mourinho loves Matic and Lukaku, and I don't dislike either of them. I like them both. I think they've been good this season, but I'd still swap Lukaku for a better striker, and I'd still swap Matic for Fabinho because we're nowhere near winning the title. And I think that we've got a lot of better players than them who just aren't performing for whatever reason. But Matic, for me, is still not the right sort of midfielder that United need. I think he would work well in a midfield 3, but not a midfield 2. He's too slow. I would love to bring Fabinho to the club. I would love to bring Milinkovic-Savic. And I think, Alexandro's got to be better than Ashley Young. But that would be about 200 million. But it would fit in with Mourinho saying he's not going to sign any attackers as well. And I think the positive for me, Jamie, is if we do sign those 3 players, it would mean Martial staying because we can't lose another attacker.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I agree on Mourinho. I don't think we need attackers. I see things in reports today about Willian and Dybala and things, but we've got Andres Pereira coming back. I really do hope he has a future at the club because I think you said he's only 21. He's gone out on loan twice. We've all got Martial, Lingard, Rashford, Alexis, Lukaku. but there's a lot more problems in the team, and I think the media tend to focus on a lot more negatives, obviously, around Manchester United and Luke Shaw at the minute. But as a club and as a manager, I think, well, as fans especially, we need to concentrate on, being ruthless, get rid of the deadwood. As you said, £200 million. I think, obviously, with Twanzebe and Foster Mensah coming back, I honestly think Alexandro Fabinho and Milinkovic-Savic is all we need in the summer, because we've got a fantastic front three if they play in the right, tactics and style. Because you can't blame Luke Shaw or Martial and Lukaku for the tactics. That's down to the manager. Because, in my opinion, under any other manager at the minute, they'd be shining and they'd be doing really well in the Premier League. So, yeah, I think Alexandro, Milinkovic-Savic and Fabinho would, all we need really, especially with 3 young players coming back in the club.
I mean, I just read a comment there. I'm going to ask you about this. That somebody said, because I said on the call with Tyrone that I want Mourinho to be given the 3 years just to see what this completion of the process is. But somebody said, well, actually, yeah, we're second in the league at the moment, and we think we've got a chance of winning the FA Cup. And if we win the FA Cup and we come second, is that better than 6th and the Europa League and the League Cup? That's open for debate. But why should he get a 3rd year if actually we drop down to 4th and we don't win the FA Cup? Because that's not better than last year. Man City coming up after Swansea, which I would expect us to win. Spurs in the FA Cup. What do you expect? What do you think United are going to do with the rest of the season? Where do you think we will finish in the league? And do you think we can win the FA Cup, which is probably going to mean beating Spurs and Chelsea?
I think we can win the FA Cup, definitely. If it's United Chelsea in the final, I think Mourinho would go for, in my opinion, similar tactics to what he did last April. He really wants to get one over Conte, as he did, this season. In the league, I personally think we'll just grind out the results to get second. I can't see us winning at Man City, and if we do lose and Man City do win the league at the Etihad, that would just be a total embarrassment. But I personally think if Man City do win the league against us, it will give the players, right kick up the arse, because that's what they need. There's been some performances this season that's not been great, and the players know that. But next season, I hope we can go again, and yeah, all I can see is just grinding out results for the rest of the season. And then the FA Cup, who knows? I mean, it's at Wembley, so anything can happen, really.
Okay, well, thanks for calling, Jamie. Really, really good call, and I'll please do call in again.
Cheers, Mark. Thanks.
Cheers, pal. We will be live every night at 8 o'clock this week, by the way. But also, we did a 1 o'clock show today, which was in response to the 10 players that have got their necks on the line apparently this summer. Some real shockers in there. So if you're at work, school, or whatever today, or you haven't watched it, please do go and watch it after this. It's only about a 10-minute video. It was done live, and I think you'll enjoy it. A lot of people talking about Pereira. That's why I mention it. He features in that one, as does Martial, and does a couple of others I wouldn't want to. So watch that. It's actually showing up in my suggested videos, so do go and watch that. And tomorrow at 1 o'clock, we've got a really good call, a really good show. I'm not going to give you any details other than that will be the show where we announce the winner of this bad boy, which you can still enter. There's still a few minutes left of the show. Just caption the thumbnail, the new thumbnail. Also, I want to get your opinions on that very, very quickly. I will be doing the contributions. Don't worry, Sebastian. The thumbnail today is a little bit different. Normally we have like players or Mourinho or anything like that. Today I thought I'd just caption something with a bit of an emotion. I was doing it because of the prize that we're doing, but do you think we should do that more often? Do you think you'd rather have the pictures of the guests and everything on the thumbnails, or do you think we should keep the players? Let us know in the comments or in the comments below if you're not watching live. I'd be interested to know what you think about that. But 8 o'clock tomorrow night, we've got Rodney on. Rodney says we should sell Pogba. That's all I know. So that's going to be very interesting at 8 o'clock. So 1 o'clock tomorrow and 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is Rodney telling us why we should sell Pogba. I disagree, but Rodney's velvet tones. Let's see what he says. And the 1 o'clock show tomorrow is going to be very, very interesting. I'm very excited about it, and nobody knows what it is except me. So there we go. Nemanja says, thumbnail, Martial agrees transfer to Man City. I like it. When you watch United stand on a Friday night and Mark is sober says Fionn Curtin. Such a tease, says Kevin O'Callaghan. As long as the manager gets it right, we can finish second plus win the FA Cup, says Sherwayne. I actually think second in the FA Cup is better than last season. I do. I don't know what you lot think, but I do think second in the FA Cup is better than the Europa League and the League Cup and sixth, because I think you should always be judged on your Premier League season as you know, that's your starting point, isn't it? And actually, I'd love to win the FA Cup because, as I've said many a time, the FA Cup that we won with Van Gaal was just a very stressful affair. I did enjoy it because we hadn't won it for a long time. But in my mind, I was like, if we win this, is Van Gaal going to keep his job? And then they sacked him straight after. And if I'd known before, I would have enjoyed the cup final a hell of a lot more. Oliver John has made a contribution. Muno, anyone except Rashford, Matic, Pogba, Lukaku can go. Sam French says 10 players sold and Fellaini stays. I think that's caption. Look for my other comment, Mark, says Hannah Dad. Thanks for the contribution. Sebastian United says Shaw is going. Would you consider a Rose swap deal? No. You know, that Danny Rose swap deal was mentioned around Christmas time. So Danny Rose is about 27, 28. Luke Shaw's 22. So straight away you've got 5 years difference. I think Luke Shaw's better than Danny Rose. Danny Rose can't even get a game for Spurs. He's a Spurs reject. A bit like Shaw, actually. So that's similar. I think that'd be a terrible deal. Biosphere says, please, Mark, just say it. Mourinho out. Long goodbye. Thanks for the contribution, Biosphere. I've said it because you've said it, but I'm not Mourinho out, as people will know. I might say it'll be a long goodbye, but you know what? Going back to that, as I come back to have a read some of the live comments, just talking about that for a moment, Jose Mourinho has changed. He has changed. Of course he has. He said it publicly, 2 days. I've been trying to get him to play attacking football. So, you know, he is listening. I agree, as I said last night, everyone will say, well, why hasn't he done it for the last 2 years? But at least he's accepting. A lot of people said he can't change his style of play. Well, he's trying to. So, you know, let's see. He's going to be here till at least, well, I think he'll be here a lot longer, but the end of the season. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do. Biosphere also says, I've got some good bourbon. Maker's Mark. Shall you use it to celebrate bashing City or drown my sorrows? You know what? I'm not a negative person, but I can't see anything other than a Man City beating us and winning the title at the Etihad. And that's not me. I hope we win that. There's a lot of Man City fans who give me a lot of grief on Twitter, and there's nothing better than beating them. But I'm prepared for that. And that won't make me Mourinho out. But I said that, didn't I? I said the next bad result, which is likely to be against City, that's going to go off like a bottle of pop. And I think a lot of people are on the fence will use that as a reason to turn against Jose. But I don't think we should. Man City have just obliterated everybody in the Premier League this season, points-wise. They're going to be pumped up to win the title. They're going to absolutely smell blood. We're on our knees at the moment. We will park the bus. And it's going to be painful to watch. I hope Mourinho can pull something off. I really do. UG says, next time we hire a manager, don't hire managers that are known for parking the bus. Well, yeah, I do agree with you on that. The appointment of our last 3 managers has been somewhat questionable. Moyes, Van Gaal and Mourinho, in the kindest sense, are all very pragmatic, conservative managers. Is that what fits in with United's last 70 years? No. So, I don't know why we've done that. What would make you Mourinho out, says Shri Kumar. It's a good question that I'll answer very quickly. I don't know. There is no set rules. Like the first caller tonight, if Fellaini signs a new contract, that will make that caller Mourinho out. If some people have said if he sells Martial, that will make him out. Some people have said if we lose to City, that will make him out. Some people have said if we don't win the FA Cup and we finish lower than second, that will make him out. You know, for me, there isn't anything. I think in my mind, a lot would have to go wrong for me to not at least give him till Christmas. So that's all I can say on that. Settle for a draw against City, says Susan McKerney. If we can get a draw, I'll take it because it stops them winning the title in front of us, which is going to be very, very embarrassing. Jose United is weak, says Soti Moon. What does Mourinho have to do next season to keep him on, says Liam. I think he's got to start playing more entertaining football. I really do think that that's the most fundamental thing to Manchester United fans. I really do. Laurent Blanc got more goals out of Zlatan in the front two than Jose got as a lone striker, says Simon the Bomb. That's a nice jacket, says Flat Earth. Thank you. Do I think we'll sign Cruz in the summer, says Hardy? But I'd love us to do it. I'd love us to do that. If we keep playing in like this but win the league, is it a success, says Stephen Forbes? I think that's what a lot of people thought we'd get with Mourinho. I think a lot of people felt that they could sacrifice good football to win a title because it's important for us to win a title. It's been a few years now and we don't want to be Arsenal or Liverpool. But the reality is, this style of football that Mourinho plays isn't going to win us a title, is it? It's not. It's not. So I think if Mourinho is going to win the title at United, he's going to have to play entertaining football. So let's see what happens. I wanted Jose out from day one, says Andrew Ellis. We know. I've always shouted you out for that, Andrew. I've said, although I disagree with you, I've always said Andrew Ellis from day one. Never wanted him. Shirith Kamath Fitness has made a contribution. If Fergie made a few more signings before he left, we would have been champions for 2 more seasons at least. Man City are good because they still have Silva, De Bruyne and got rid of Deadwood sooner. Half right in my opinion, Sheras. If the reality is, I think Sir Alex Ferguson could have bought Messi and Ronaldo and left them for Moyes, and he still would have messed it up. Moyes just caused irreparable damage really for United when he came in. I mean, getting rid of the backroom staff was just arrogant and stupid. So I don't think Sir Alex Ferguson deserves any blame other than recommending David Moyes, funnily enough. Jose out from day one is everything wrong with modern football, says Chris. There you go, Andrew. You've had that back for you. Sit down. Do I want Zlatan to stay, says Freddie Af Jelliston. No. Zlatan's got to go. He's clear. I love Zlatan. You know what? It's 2 years now, isn't it? World Cup's coming up. And I remember the Euros 2 years ago. And I was doing Zlatan watch-alongs. Well, I don't think it was watch-alongs, but every time a match finished with Sweden, I went live to give a review on Zlatan, and he was crap because Sweden were crap. But I was very excited when we signed Zlatan, and he had a good first season. But he's finished at the top. He's finished at the top level now, and go to America and enjoy it. I do love Zlatan, but he's not the future for United, and he's not quick enough for what we want to do. So no, he's got to move on for me. But I'd like to see him play a few others. Jack Kirby doesn't like the thumbnail. That's the first one I've seen it. Well, it's a democracy, mate. Do you like the thumbnail or not? Drop a like on the video if you do. But please do drop a like on the video for all our callers tonight who've been fantastic. Right, we're pretty much done, I think. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, if you can watch it, we're live. You're going to like it. You're really going to like it. Even if you can't watch it live, it's probably one of my most exciting videos I've done in a while. I can't wait to do it. I've got the idea in my head. I don't know what it's going to look like on paper, but it will be done live. So if you can watch live, you can have your say on it, which you'll understand more at 1 o'clock tomorrow. And 8 o'clock tomorrow night, we're live as per usual. Got Rodney on. He's going to be telling us why he'd sell Pogba, which is interesting. But I'm sure, because it's Manchester United, tomorrow there'll be a raft of other stories. And I'm going to throw you a prediction as well. At some point over the next week and a half, De Gea to Real Madrid will hit big time. Big time. Guaranteed. And there'll be some other big transfer news as well. It always happens in this international break, the last one before the summer. And Gorty1231 says Mourinho should be a coach as well instead of just being a manager. Van Gaal struggled with a lot of injuries, but Mourinho has had a lot of talents available. Interesting. And just on that, Mourinho did say when he came to United, I'm not a manager with a bad injury record. And I thought, he's going to solve this voodoo that Manchester United have around injuries, because we've had bad injuries for years and years and years. And he comes to Manchester United and we still get loads of injuries. There's something wrong with United. Why do we get so many injuries? Why? It's really weird. Thanks everybody for watching. Really, really like it. How many likes to get this jacket? I don't want to give you this. I don't want to give you this jacket. I'll give you this jacket. We're giving you this jacket. I tell you what, people see, we are the class. The United standard's got a little bit more class. I think it's moved beyond the shirts, hasn't it? We seem to be more of a tracksuit jacket channel. So I'll try and get hold of a couple of more tracksuit jackets that we can give away. But I've been creative with this one. We'll announce the winner at 1 o'clock tomorrow, by the way. Thanks everyone for watching. Lots of people have liked the video, which is great because that's for the callers in the community and the live comments as well, as per usual. Absolutely fantastic. If you didn't watch the video at 1 o'clock, go and watch it. It's the 10 players Mourinho is considering selling or something like that. But 10-minute video, very, very good and interactive. And you can see the live comments now. 2 tips for you. You can see, if you watch a video back on YouTube, the United Stand, I would recommend, every time you watch a video back, you can see the live comments from that video, which sort of makes the live comments a bit redundant. We're thinking about getting rid of that. Don't know whether to do it or not, because you can actually see the live comments on a video anyway now. And the second thing, if it's a longer video, this is a really good tip for you. If you want to watch a United Stand video back, because we do long videos, there's a gear icon underneath your YouTube video, and if you click the speed thing, you can knock my voice up to 1.5 or 2. So when I'm watching longer videos and I can't be asked to watch an hour, I do knock it up to 1.5 or 2, and it will halve the time you're watching it. My voice will go a lot quicker like this, and oh, hello, welcome to the United Stand. But your ear and your brain can take it. So just a little tip there that I use that I've never mentioned before, but you can double the speed of the audio, or you can knock it up by a half, and it just makes the audio move a little bit quicker so you can get through the video more. There you go, little tip for you there. 2 tips. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow at 1. Can't wait for that. Watch the one from today at 1. Watch the one from today. It's called 10 Manchester United Stars to be Axed by Jose Mourinho. Very, very good. And 8 o'clock tomorrow night. See you all very soon. Thanks, everyone. Great show. Walking Dead. Carl.